Hey guys, welcome to Dinner and a Movie. I am so excited to finally kind of share this new thing with you guys. For dinner, let's talk about food. Yummy, yummy. We started with some asparagus, you guys, which I tossed in Dijon mustard, olive oil, and rosemary. And I roasted that along with some yummy sweet potatoes. And then for my protein, you guys know I don't eat meat, or if you don't, I don't eat meat. So I actually made some seitan, which is a meat substitute, which is really, really yummy. Tossed that in a little barbecue sauce, and this is what my finished plate looked like. You guys, it was so freaking awesome. Sprinkled a little cinnamon over the sweet potatoes, and yeah, it was pretty darn yummy. So I watched the movie, and yeah, let's talk about how I liked it. Hey guys, so welcome to the first episode of Dinner and a Movie. So in honor of the fact that this episode is premiering on Valentine's Day, I decided to pick a love movie. It's a movie that I've been wanting to see for a while. The movie I watched was Before Midnight, which is the third in a really fantastic series of movies about one couple's relationship over the years. So right off the bat, you guys, if you haven't checked this series out, make sure you do. The very first film in this series was called Before Sunset. The basic premise is that this young couple, Jesse and Celine, meet on a train in Europe. And when it's time for Jesse to get off, he convinces Celine to get off with him and spend the day with him walking around this European city. The fantastic thing about all of these movies is that they're really conversational, like the dialogue is. The movies are very much about this couple and the two of them connecting, and really honestly watching throughout all three movies, you really watch these two people fall in love and you watch the development of their relationship. So let's talk about Before Midnight. I was really excited to see this one. The couple is now in their 40s. It's been 20 years since that magical day on the train, and now they're kind of dealing with real life. The two are on vacation in Greece, and you see them interacting with some other couples, and you see the two of them dealing with the major issues in their relationship. Yeah, you guys, I really enjoyed this movie, and now I'm gonna tell you why I did. Number one is that I love the conversational dialogue. So for example, the very first scene in this movie is the two of them driving in a car and having this conversation. And I know that sounds really kind of like boring, and why would that be exciting? But the dialogue is just so good, and their conversation and connection is just so good that it just makes it really super interesting. This style and theme is something that kind of carries throughout all three of the movies. And once again, they just did it really, really well. The number two thing I loved about this movie, you guys, I am in love with Europe, all things European. I just love it, love it, love it. And like I said, the film was set in Greece. It was just beautiful, like visually stunning, just seeing Greece and the people of Greece and the culture of Greece. I really just love watching movies that take place in Europe, which is probably another reason why I really enjoy this series. Even just something as simple as them sitting down to eat reminds me so much of my time in Spain. There's a fantastic scene in this movie where they're sitting and having like dinner with a bunch of other couples, and it's like they're eating real food, you know, there's like wine and bread and olives and all these kind of like European things. So yeah, Greece was kind of awesome. The third thing I would say about this movie is I just love seeing these characters, Jesse and Celine. I mean, it really is almost like I'm seeing old friends again and kind of catching up with them and seeing where they're at in their journey. I love it too because the way they make these movies, this relationship is very much kind of like a picture of what happens after the happily ever after. You know, if the first movie was the happily ever after, the second and third movie are kind of like the tale of what happens when real life hits. You know, it's not always gonna be rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes love is hard and relationships are hard. And I mean, there was a fantastic scene in this movie towards the end where they're at a hotel and they're supposed to be going away for this kind of like romantic rendezvous, and they end up having this argument that was just kind of crazy, man. And as it was happening, it was so intense and I felt like so invested in it. Like there were times when I felt like I wanted to jump in and be like, you're not listening to her. I just love it because it feels so kind of true and authentic to what real people deal with in relationships. So yeah, you guys, fantastic movie. Like I said, if you haven't seen the series, you should definitely check it out. Okay, you guys, that is it. That is the very first episode of Dinner and a Movie. So I'm not sure yet how often I'll be doing this series, but I would love if you guys would leave me some suggestions for movies that you would like for me to watch, and we will see what comes next. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a happy Valentine's Day. Bye.